as you would have seen in the agenda today, we would be just talking about talking about the two of the surveys which was done by Toco and Tally, and what are some of the key findings by them. And we'll also go through the case study which I had done, and what are the key takeaways from. I think I have listed down 3 of the DAOs and how do they do the onboarding process, and maybe just for our knowledge, what are the product offerings they have, so that we are aware about it, and what are the key improvements that we feel we can do. Maybe we can implement it in our SuperUMAn's channel as well. So just this is more of an interactive session. So if you guys feel, if you have any comments on any of the points that we would be going through, please feel free to stop me in any time. So we'll have questions and comments in the end as well. But in any point you feel that you want to, have some more insights, or you want to talk about it, let me know. Yeah. So this is what we would be talking about, like what are the common onboarding challenges which DAOs are facing right now, and how can we take those points in account, and how can we effectively onboard our users and effectively retain our users in the DAO. Then we'll be going through some of the case studies and what are the product highlights that they have. And again, what are the best practices and the things that could have been improved in those case studies, like what things that could have been improved in those DAOs that on which the case study was done. So this is how, today's learning, again, this is based on, we'll go through the Tally server and the Toco server, like the important points. I've just taken the important points from them. And then the second one is the case study on the few DAOs and the product highlights. So this is how the structure is for today's session. So the Toco server, the Toco survey, what they pointed out is many of the people, like out of the survey that was done by them, they said that almost 46% of the people, they have an average onboarding experience, and they said that if a person is having a very good onboarding process, they feel included in the community. And I resonated with that feeling, like when I first hop on any server, I if I have a very good experience, I feel included in the community, and I feel that I was heard, or I was heard in that community. So I think the first point of contact is always the onboarding experience, and the onboarding experience should be made in a very inclusive way, so that we can leave the best impression. So the suggestion that we can have is, let's say we can have, to build the best first impression, we can also have the video onboarding call, because people can listen, not only listen to you, but they also see you, so they feel connected. So and they can have a very inclusive feeling. So this was the like the survey which was said that 46% of the people, they have very average experience, and I think we should be working, like in general, everybody should be working to increase it. Then they said that people, when they join, they want tools so that they get a clear structure on how they can get like clear structure on how they can join the particular DAO. So if they are joining the DAO, in quickly 5 to 10 minutes, they are going to skim the DAO, DAO process, and they are going to see if they are contributors, they are going to see quickly how they can get involved. So if the user is not getting that information right away, it is very likely that only on the notification that person might come back. So it is very important to give a very clear information on how you can get involved, and how can you get started. So that is in the survey done, like people in many of the DAOs, they do not see this. There is no clear structure which is made. Then it's very important to give information about the purpose or the mission of the DAO, because many of the people, they find the mission that aligns with theirs. So it is very important that we have our DAO structured and give out that first level of information. Maybe we can have FAQs, I think, which Superman's already building. So FAQs, or the missions, like the document which we can give away to the people who are joining, so that they know who are we, what do we do, and what can they expect when they join the Superwoman. So this is the level of information they expect, and if they are not finding it, it becomes difficult for people to navigate through the Discord. So because of this, DAOs in general, they face the problem that many of the members who are joining, they are just lurkers and they are actually not contributing. So we need to even find a way of how can we have people who are just lurking around get to contributing, because some of them might turn to be a very good resource. Again, then it was said that like there's a missing welcome channel, so that they get a personal touch and know how they can get onboarded. So this was the study which was done by the Toco Survey, and these were the key findings. But again, you can find more information in a graphic way from the link that I've just posted in the text hub.
Hey, I've got a couple of questions to start off, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
When was this Toco survey done? When was it carried out? Do you know?
I think it was done very recently. I can,
Okay.
if it is not provided in the link itself, maybe I can send the Twitter link from which I found it out.
I was just interested in the things you said about having video calls for onboarding. Many people like to stay anonymous. How do you figure out whether to do video onboarding or keep it just talking like what we're doing now?
I think it's my personal view. Again, I think people who want to keep themselves anonymous, they also create anonymous email IDs. And if they do not want, they can choose the option of not turning their video on. But there are many people who want to like connect with the person who is onboarding them. So for anonymous people, I'm sure they create anonymous email IDs, and they do all the measures that they can take to keep themselves anonymous.
Yeah, it might be interesting to do a poll in our DAO to see whether people would like to do video call or just do what we normally do.
That would prevent gaming of the system.
And I wonder if they aren't talking about like something of like a screen share, like how we're doing right now, so that they can actually like see, like someone can show them on a video, right? Like the DAO and the Discord structure and where to go, where things are. So they're watching it, right? Instead of just like being told over a voice call. I'm not sure though. It'd be interesting to get that clarification.
Yeah, I think it's my personal view also. Like maybe because everything is getting work from home, and with the DAOs, we are not meeting people in person. I think there's a lack of personal touch that happens when we are working in DAOs. So, like seeing other person, I think that gives the feel of what we miss when we meet other person in office or in some other places. So I think that gives the first level of personal touch. But yeah, again, we can find out more information on this. This is just my personal view. Yeah.
I'm really starting to wonder like how much impact that first initial call actually has now, and how it's currently structured, and if maybe we need to add things, or I mean, I guess we'll just wait to see like how the entire onboarding structure comes to place as we're working on it. Hopefully by like maybe next week or so.
That's a good point for you. But I also wonder like how our numbers stack up against these ones, right? Because where were these taken from? Just like a bunch of different DAOs?
So the first two, the Toco survey and the Tally survey, I think that was done where they sent out type form to people, and around 40% of them, they were new to DAOs and did not know what DAOs are, but around 60% or 40% of the people, they said that that like they are having these personal problems, yeah. So it was done on the type form. I think they have just mentioned how they have done it, but that is what I read, that they had the Toco survey had sent out the information on Twitter and people were filling it out, and the Tally survey, I think that was done by sending the information again to their own community and so on.
Dude, I just had an idea. Like, what if we include at the end of the their first onboarding call a quick survey, like maybe a few questions that's required, and just to see like how are they feeling about their first call? Do they feel like they understand like certain things like our structure and how they can move forward, et cetera, and feedback, and I don't know. I just think something that would be really valuable.
I think GM Steel had made something similar, where he was going to like send that survey to, I think, recruits. But yeah, I think we can also add we can send that to the people who have just finished their onboarding call, just to see if they faced any challenges getting onboarded.
And about our scrolls, if they were aware of them, or because remember Wei-Fu said something this morning.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Is making sure that recruits are aware of the scrolls, whether that's gone over the first call or like some subsequent call. And then I think in a little while, or someone else has mentioned, where they would like sign off that they understand the gist of it at least.
Yeah, I think that's a good
It'd be
idea.
good to, it'd be good if we could add, once we get the community, the community management doc finished, if we could add that in there too.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, so they said some of the information which was missing was like the overview of org structure. So how is your organization structured? Maybe information on how many working groups are there, or how the promotion happens. So few of the DAOs, I'll come back to that again for the slides, but few of the DAOs, they give a clear information on, for example, right now you're on pre-recruit, then you will become a recruit, and then superman, co-superman, UMA master, and so on. So they give a very clear structure that what are you going to expect, and how is your organization structured, so that one can get a quick view on everything. So this was missing, and people found wanted this information. Then the bounty system here, I found, I think somewhere I was listening where they said there could be many type of contributors. One type of contributor where who wants to get into DAOs full time, and they are willing to contribute a lot of time of theirs. So for them, what we are doing is like very good. Like they have onboarding process, they come in, they take up tasks and get promoted. But there could be another type of contributors who have their full-time jobs and are talented and just want maybe want to take up few tasks like bounty system, and maybe just one-on-one tasks that they want to take. So do we also want to address those second type of contributors who are here to maybe just take few of the tasks and get involved? So and and it is very important to like list down how in an organization, in like a DAO, it is very important to list how are you going to how are the DAOs compensating the members? Maybe if not the incentive structure, but just the information about how the incentive is, how are the compensation done, so that the person who is just coming in, they are aware about the process, and in the end, when the compensation is actually happening, uh, they're not disappointed and maybe just leave just like that. So I think it's very important to just give information about the bounty system or the compensation structure that is there in your DAO. Also, the information on the ongoing projects. I would say ongoing projects or working groups. So I think we were talking about how we can keep getting started channel in our SuperUMAn's public, so that whenever somebody is coming in, they can at least come and see the getting started information and understand what are the different roles which are there, so they can get information about all those. So it's very important that they get an overview of it, on what all maybe guilds are there, what all working groups are there, and what happens exactly in those. And very few people, like only less, like 23% only people, they felt that there was too much information which was given to them, because I think everybody likes to like wants to have as much as information. So there were less people who felt that there was too many information at once. So this is any questions on this one? So they said what could be improved is we can have a guided first steps. Like if if you are a contributor, if you have come here for a contributor, what can you do and what can you expect? For example, in our case, we already have that if you're a contributor, you would be filling up the form, and maybe we can also, like, I think we are already making FAQ channel, but we can have information on after the guided first steps, you will be going through mentorship, and after you go through mentorship or the courses, modal courses, only then you become recruit. So I think the guided first steps is important. Then comprehensive org chart that we already spoke about. FAQ section, this was an interesting one. Like we can have a daily roundups on the as a newsletter on what exactly happened in the DAO, and I think it's work in progress on our website. But let's say if we have a newsletter on what exactly happened in each of the working groups, and then we publish it, so that if even if a person missed on a few calls, they have the digestible information on what are some of the initiative or actions that each of the working group is taking, and they can follow up. And I think this would be very even important for people who would be on like out of office for some time, so that when they come back, they can read these newsletters and they are updated with all of the information that happened in the DAO when they were out of office.
Yeah, we've been talking about like a newsletter. It kind of got put on the back burner, but I used to kind of do something like a newsletter. It was like for our community call, I used to put like you got some of you guys remember like all that information, and I do feel like there's just so much going on at all times, and having a catch up like once or even bi-weekly on all the new happenings that are like really important would probably be beneficial for everybody, not just a new recruit.
Hey, remember when we used to have a vlog?
Yeah, I do.
I remember Deadcoin Poopster, you guys were in that vlog.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that would, yeah.
I was
I
gonna say maybe we could revisit that. I don't know what you guys think about that, but it might be cool.
Yeah.
That was so long ago. I can't barely even remember any of that stuff.
I'll post them all.
In a little too.
It was like years ago.
If somebody would actually create an update list, I'd be happy to do one.
Yeah, I mean, if I know we have like a writers team on the content side of things. I wonder if they'd be interested in, writing, keeping up with the happenings and writing like a small to do and maybe handing it off to someone like Poopster who is willing to get on camera and put a vlog together.
Like that script they just did. They'll have Poops are doing all kinds of stuff.
I forgot. I gotta get busy on that and delivering. Thanks. I'm gonna send a message now. Sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
Yeah, no issues. I think that would be a great idea because that could even act as a mentorship for I want to get involved in ambassadors, but I want to first ambassadors team, but I want to see what goes on, what are the conversations that everybody takes, maybe something like that. So I think that could be even a good starting point for somebody who want to get involved in the other teams. So I think newsletters would be a perfect idea for that. Then another thing is like after the person gets onboarded, after the onboarding task, I know we have Moodle courses building up right now, but like people look for some task to be given or they can take right away. Maybe if not bounties, some tasks that they can take just to keep them busy or just to give them the context of what is happening right now so that they can get more understanding and they can get more involved. So maybe some defined task which we know that after the onboarding call happens, this is the certain number of steps or certain number of tasks, defined tasks that you have to take, and so that the person can get the context.
Yeah, I mean that really does make sense, at least for the initial baby steps, providing them with like, these are tasks to complete before, the next level or something.
Yeah, I think we'll go back to the some of the DAOs and like Index and Aragon. They are doing some of these steps where after you have filled the form, you have to go through the onboarding process, and after you have done the onboarding process, maybe you have to attend 3 of the calls, and maybe go and read on some of the content or comment on the understand the governance post. So after you have done this, you have to introduce yourself in the introductions channel and list down the tasks that you have already done so that somebody can actually see that you have done it and also know about you. So I think on that note, I was thinking it would be great if we can have introductions channel on our SuperUMAN so that we can identify all the new joiners, so that anybody who is joining new, they can maybe go and introduce themselves, and that way we know who all are the people who are joining, and maybe if they list down some of the skills, we know it that way, like these are the skills that the person is having.
Yeah, especially if they're joining a team for the first time, and it's like, hey, my name is so and so, I'm new to the team, I just joined the DAO like a week ago or something, and that'd be cool. I mean, just having them have to like check that off, and like the team lead can like check that off for them. Hey, like so and so introduced himself to the team. And I think that's cool. I think some recruits really need that icebreaker, and it'll help the team get familiar a lot faster.
This is the Tally case study overview. I think the first one is just having better educational resources. And like the educational resources, I think, which we're already working on, so that's great. Some of the videos or articles explaining for people who are new to DAO, like how the voting process happens, or what is the contributor flow and task that, like, maybe in each of the teams, what is the flow and the task, maybe how to go through work and so on. So I think there should videos and articles, maybe either of them, it would resonate best, so that somebody who is new to DAO, they can go back and follow those resources, and they can exactly know what to do when we ask for votes, or when we ask people to take up tasks on work. So I think we are already working on this. So, but if you're not, I think we should have these educational resources. Then we can also have the directory, manual with directory, where which is, I think, which is specifically relating to our DAO. So any of the terms or any of the technical keywords which we think is not which will not be known to other people who are into crypto, but they are not but who have just joined our DAO, they might not know those terms. I think we can have a manual of directory of terms. So this was done by the Tally case study. They have suggested that we should have it. I'm just saying, I'm not sure if it would be a good idea to have a manual of directory, but I think the Moodle courses are great for us. But if anybody thinks if we have these manual, we can do that.
That's a manual, like a glossary on our website.
Like a glossary.
That's actually
I think
powerful.
We've already got this on our Moodle.
Yeah.
It can
I was
be
gonna say it's
expanded.
pretty powerful for a search engine too. It can be really helpful for search engine optimization, for getting better rankings.
Yeah, I think so. I think I still have to go through all of the Moodle courses. So yeah, I think that would be great, because anybody after they join in, or after, even if they have joined in, if they want to search any term or understand any term, they can go and search these and just have a look at it. And again, GM Steel, I think he has already worked on it, GM Steel and Sophia. After you have done the onboarding process, it's very important to ask your users on how the onboarding process was, what were the challenges that you encountered, and what was your experience when you found your way into our channel. So because it's always best when you ask a new person who has joined in, and they can give the best answer. But like, for example, if you ask me right now, I would have forgotten how my experience was, because right now I'm having a great experience, so I might have forgotten what my experience was when I had first joined. So it's very important, when you feel the person has been already onboarded, you ask these questions and have them recorded, so that maybe after every epoch we can just go back to the suggestions or feedbacks that was provided, and maybe take some actions on the feedbacks which were repetitive.
Hey, remember when there was just like two channels, and one channel was like, what is a SuperUMAn? And it really didn't like have that great of a description. And then there's another channel where you just raised your hand. You did like the hand emoji.
Oh yeah. Our onboarding process was just literally the hand emoji, and you get thrown into a chat, and then, all right, you're superhuman, get going.
Hey,
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, hey, everybody, just to kind of back up what was said, we have a team that's working on onboarding strategy, and so what this current presentation is about will be part of the strategy, but Sofiat and I have also already done a survey of recruits and gotten that information, which will also be included in that document. So that's been completed. We're just collating the data and everything.
That's awesome, GM. Do you think you can link, like put a link to where all the surveys are at, if any of us want to just kind of maybe read through some?
Yeah, we'll have to get together. We have the responses, but we haven't actually put them into a document yet. But people can view the responses. But we'll be working on that. Yeah, but we did get a lot of good responses, so I think it'll be pretty helpful.
Nice. Okay, no, that's good.
So this was the case study which was done by me. I just went to some of the like I was part of one, and I went to others just to understand how the onboarding process is done. So like we listed, I think few people, they listed down on some of the DAOs which could be best for the case study. Then the second process was like researching on the onboarding process, how is their Discord structure, and what are some of the common strategies that maybe all of the DAOs are taking. So this was like I studied on some of them, and then I came back to our original SuperUMAn server. Like I made a account, and I really started thinking from a new joiner's perspective. Like if I'm a new joiner and if I'm joining for the first time, how would the process be, or like how would I feel seeing the SuperUMAn's channel? So I listed down some of the things that we can improve, and I think we are like Turkey, and we all are, some of us are working to improve it. So let's see. I think it's a long process, but I think definitely at end of the day, you will find some of the changes that are being implemented. So first one was Index Coop. Just wanted to give you a highlight on what they do, because when I was just preparing the session, I did not know how useful the session would be. So just want to give you a quick highlight on what they do. They are making crypto index funds. So it's like a basket of tokens that they have. So instead of investing in one of the tokens, you invest in the basket, and that is what they are making. So now their onboarding process is as outlined. So as the person comes in, they have a very good welcome channel, and I think we are going to, as SuperUMAns, we are going to implement that welcome channel as well, where we would have information on are you a contributor, or are you looking for integrations? So if you are looking for integration, click here and you will be redirected to looking for integration channel. And if you are a contributor and looking for contribution, you would be redirected to you will click here and you will be redirected to becoming a SuperUMAn. So, and those welcome channel, it will also include important links to our Twitter, UMA's and SuperUMAn's website, so that that would be mostly the start here channel, where you would, as soon as somebody is entering our Discord, that would be the first thing that they will see, where they will find all the information on how they can navigate the Discord. So it will mostly be a place where they will find redirection to other places. So if they're looking for contribution, or if they're looking for any information about our socials or our websites, they will be redirected. And if they are looking for contribution, or if they're looking for integration, they will be redirected to that specific channel. So that work will soon start. So here with the Index Coop, they have to fill out the form. Then they have the onboarding call every 2 weeks, one for the APAC time zone and one for the US time zone. In the onboarding call, I think I do not remember my onboarding call, so maybe others can comment how it happens. But here in this onboarding call gives a very good information on what are the different working groups with a presentation slide, so that so that one gets to understand that in detail, and then also gives you a highlight on the products that they are having. So maybe for the first time who are a good contributor, they might get to understand it, like an overview of it, and how are the different working groups aligned and how everything is working together. So I think that PPT gives a very good understanding when you're first joining. Then after they have done the onboarding call, they have to attend 3 public calls of various working groups and get and make a summary to get some context. After they have done this, they have to maybe go on any of the forums and comment their opinion on what they think. And after you have done this, you have to kind of maintain this in an Excel sheet, and then they can go and give their introduction and also post all these steps that they've done this and what they think about it. So once you have finished this process, somebody comes and assigns, somebody reviews it, and assigns you a, like, they have different tiers, so assign you the first tier. So I think this one, I really like the process, because first of all, in the onboarding call, you get a very good idea on the different working groups and the different products that you're having. And with the welcome channel, you get information, all the handy links, the clear steps. And after the onboarding call, you get maybe some of the tasks that can help you get started, maybe at least can keep you can help you get the context of what the DAO is about and what can you expect. So I think clear definition of the task that can be taken or done is over here.
Do you think it might put some people off, because there's lots of steps? You have to fill in these sheets, you have to go on these calls, you have to put forum posts. There's a lot of things there. Maybe someone wants to come in and just contribute, or just like you said earlier, lurk around for a while just to get to know the place.
I think it can go 2 ways. To be honest, like, if somebody is, let's say, if somebody is very new to DAO and have just joined, and if they're just joining maybe the calls, they might not understand everything which is happening. So
yeah, I'm just talking from my personal experience. I would think this would be quite a lot. I'm not exactly a lurker, but I'm quite slow, and I would like to just mooch around for a while. But that's only personally.
Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me, Aakansha? Can everyone hear me?
yeah.
All right. So to back up what Neon said, actually it's kind of a lot, because I have experience with different kinds of people, and even with the little process we have, people still find it hard to complete the steps. So, and I actually love the part where they have to comment on their opinion on the call they attended before. So if we want to use this here, I would actually say, okay, after the orientation call, they could, some people fill in the form to like they fill in the form and they know the team they want to work with. Some fill in the form, I don't know the team they want to work with. Like now, if we are going to follow that, because I can see they also have an application from here. So if you're going to follow this rather. So we would fill it when we get the application from after the orientation call, we can find out the people that actually know what the maybe know what the DAO is and are really sure of the team they want to work with, so we can actually let them get started. And so that for the ones that for the people that actually need to the DAO, not sure about the team to join, we could actually maybe prepare something like this for them. But at the same time, we don't have to actually make them fill in sheets. I mean the sheet you said, I don't know what kind of sheet is that. That is actually, but I actually feel it's quite a lot. You could actually just like the normal thing we've been doing, and maybe also for the ones I don't know the team to join, could actually go join the education team, and maybe or just join any team the team you are like you feel you can join. Then you can actually if you are okay with the team, then you can continue with it. They will give you the recruit tag, or you still keep the the peer recruit tag to just find your way around everything. Actually, I think I'm kind of messed up. But I don't know if you get what I'm saying actually.
No, I definitely agree. I think for us, we can definitely take the process where uh, you fill up the form, you go through the onboarding process, and then um, go to the Moodle courses to get the context, because for like they start with the educating themselves. So I think definitely if somebody is new to the DAOs, they might not get the context by joining the calls and putting the summary. But I think for us, it would be great if we can have the structured process where as somebody is joining in, and after they have finished the onboarding call, they go through the Moodle courses depending on their experience. So like we were talking about it earlier, like if somebody is new to the DAOs, they go through from the first stage itself, like knowing about DAOs and then knowing about UMA products, and then maybe starting to contribute. But if somebody is already new to the DAO, like already experienced, and they are aware about it, maybe um, they just go through the Moodle courses of UMA products so that they can familiarize themselves. But yeah, I think at the same time they can start contributing. But I think if we can just maybe document it on after somebody has onboarded, this is how you would be going through the process. Like you have the visibility on what steps that you would be taking. So I know that after I have joined the call, I will be going through the Moodle courses, and then I can start contributing. So maybe just a structure or a documentation which we can give to the new joiners, that this is how our team is organized, and these are the steps that you would be taking after your onboarding call. So that is the main agenda, basically, just to talk on what are the steps that you can take, what are the tasks that you have to take after your onboarding call is over.
Yeah, we actually have that prepared, but I don't know why Alex does not release it actually. Maybe she's waiting for something, or I don't know. We actually have it was supposed to be in a Git book before, but she made it in a presentation form here. So probably I would remind her about it to drop it, so we can start using it for the next epoch.
Yeah, I think Alex, she was telling that she is already working on that. So I think, yeah, that's the main agenda, basically, to have the documentation ready so that we can send the new joiners, so they are not lost and they know what is going to happen. Yeah. I think, yeah, the Aragon, they have the same process. Aragon, they are making products for the DAOs. So they have a Aragon client through which if anybody wants to create a DAO, they can go and do so. And similarly, they have voice code govern, where govern voice, I think it's for uh, raising disputes. So you can raising disputes in the Aragon court. And govern is where, let's say, if you're doing any on-chain transaction which doesn't reason with all of your members in the DAO, they can put that proposal in the Aragon govern, so that if everybody is approving it, only then that on-chain transaction or any on-chain transaction will happen. So these are some of the different products that they are having, and they have the similar process. With the Bankless DAO, they have with their onboarding process, they first start with the verification section, which is more after you start. You have to start with the start first quest, which is basically a bot. So you would have to go to that bot and click on the commands, which will basically give you, which is like a gamification process. Like after you start the command, they give you an understanding on the mission, on what Bankless is about, and so on. After you have finished this, then you would have to go and introduce yourself. And once you have introduced yourself, you would have guest pass. With this guest pass, you would have access to the servers, all of the channels, and within like this guest pass gets renewed every 15 days. So you have time where you can go and build your reputation, take on some tasks, and so on. And once your guest pass, like it can get renewed every 15 days based on the leaders. But once if somebody is saying that, okay, this person is contributing enough, then they give you another tag, which I'm not sure how that works, but this is the first steps that you have to take. Basically, the process starts with a bot where they can start with the first quest, and they get the guest pass. So one thing I liked about it, and we're already making, they had like the FAQ section, like they had in the one cheat sheet itself, they had information on about everything, like how can you navigate Discord, what are the different channels, what are the different working groups, what are the different products, so that in one PDF itself, and the user can just find all of the information. This one I did not like, just found it, like DAOHaus, they you will not have access to all the channels unless and until you have taken up one bounty and you earn some token. After on that. So the users basically, they have to fill out the form before the season, and they will receive an email when the onboarding starts. So I think since we can also, let's say, whenever we are right now, our onboarding is on pause. So anybody who is filling out the form, maybe we can send an email once the onboarding starts. But yeah, I think that won't be scalable. But yeah, this is how Forefront does. Yeah, so some of the, like, these were the improvements which I found that in these DAOs, like some of the process were very lengthy. There were no task for people who are very new to the DAO, like no specific task, like people can get lost. So I think it's great that we are making Moodle courses for people new to DAO and how they can navigate. they were having too many open or closed channel on which they were getting lost if they were having too many open channels, and closed channels, if there are too many closed channels, people do not get context. Then giving out the relevant information in the first time itself whenever they are navigating your Discord or coming to the Discord for the first time. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. These are some of the useful resources by the Tally survey which was there. So I think if anybody wants to read on more on some of the challenges and the actions that they were taking, I think this is a great resource to get started. Yeah, that's it from my end.
Awesome job, Aakansha. Truly. I'm kind of wondering how our system's gonna stack up to, some pretty well established DAOs at this point, like Bankless and DAOHaus and such. I'm also curious, like where our onboarding teams role stops, and then where potentially the mentorship teams start as well. So yeah, I just feel like there's so much cool things we can do and build here, and offer flexibility as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think we are already doing great. It's just that if we have a great documentation, which is by Ken Lexi, I think that would just do the work of getting all the new users onboarded and have a great experience. So I think Moodle is a great way to give out tasks to people who have just joined and to get some context. So
Yeah, all right. So I'll just use this opportunity to just tell everyone how when the onboarding process starts. All right, so a new person comes into the server and definitely gets verified through captcha. And if there's problem with captcha, we ping Henry. Okay, Henry. I mean OX okay, yeah, to help the person. So after that, person gets a no man's tag, and some people introduce themselves in the general channel. Hello, I'm new here. Then we used to direct everyone to the Becoming SuperUMAN channel to read the channel and fill out the form if they are interested in becoming a SuperUMAN. And some don't. Some people don't introduce themselves, so we just get a lot of response on the application form spreadsheet. Yeah, so from there we actually bring invite them or introduce them into general channel, tag them, and give them the pre-recruit tag. That's just for filling the application form, so that they okay, we recognized you already and you are eligible to being a member. Yeah. So after that, we tell them okay, attend the orientation call, complete the module course, reach out to Neon Demon for the module login access, and yeah. So that is like the only way we actually on board. Yeah, I would say that, because apart from the orientation and the module course, we just recently introduced the module course, because before it was just the orientation call. As long as you attend the orientation call, fine, you are good to go. You can become a recruit and become a full member of the DAO. See how everything goes. So before we introduce the module course rather, we have some people attend the orientation, some people don't attend the orientation. Then some people just come and, hey, Kris, I haven't gotten recruited. And I'll be like, oh, wow, I'm sorry, but you have to go through the right process and stuff like that. So it took a while. We even had follow-up on that. I'm sorry about that. fill the form like a lot of them. Still have their names on Notion, because I actually update the Notion pages from the like whoever any applicant you see on the any applicant response you see on the spreadsheet, we actually update it on Notion, so we keep track of everything, so just not to lose anything. Yeah. So we have a lot of them there. Like, in fact, I mean, the people who do not even want to become a member are more than the ones that actually become a member of the SuperUMAN DAO, SuperUMAN here. So we it has actually been some kind of struggle for us since then, and lately Neon Demon, thank God for him, he worked in the model course, and yeah, that actually made the onboarding process a bit stricter actually, because I actually believe our onboarding process is not even strict at all. Maybe that's why we have a lot of poor pointers and maybe giveaway. That's too. Sorry about that. And after attend, okay, let's say someone successfully attend the orientation call and complete the module course, yeah, you can become a recruit. And even after our orientation call, you get the recruit tag. So we tell you that, all right, as a pre-recruit, you have limit, like you're limited to some channels. Yeah, that is the becoming SuperUMAN channel, and I think some of the SuperUMAN HQ and this I think the info channels too, they can actually see that, or just the start here channel. Yeah. Then after they get the recruit tag, we tell them, all right, a lot of channels are going to be open to you, so don't get discouraged or don't get scared. That time we used to send a Discord navigation video. That was when we were using the OMA DAO before we actually created it. I mean the OMA server rather, before we actually became a DAO. So we still actually use that, but we tell them, okay, it's not updated, but at least it can be of help. So I think that actually helped some, if that actually did not help everyone, but I feel it helped most recruits then. And yeah, so I guess after that, some people even still get I told them how the structure is. Okay, we have the content team, the campaigns team, and this and this and this. They have this, they do that, they do this. And some people would still like, oh, I don't know which team to join even after the orientation, and like they feel they don't have a space, or they feel they can't actually fix themselves into the DAO. And that was when it got too much. I just, okay, all right, you know what, you guys should I just tell every one of them then, all right, if you don't know the team to join, you could just go to the education team and just attend the calls and be active. And if there is any tasks you can do there, because I know the education team don't give difficult tasks. Is it that to research on things, create module courses and stuff. So I just said, okay, go to the education team and do these, attend calls, and I'm sure you'll be finding, as you're attending the education team calls, attend other calls, to attend the community call, any other call you want to join, just attend, because no one will actually send you out. Just attend, and I'm sure you would actually find a space for you then that actually was going on, and everything was getting a bit better actually. Then GM still came with the mentorship program from social media actually, and it was actually going on fine. Then honestly, that was a very, very big relief for me actually. Thanks, GM still. I owe you some estimates actually. All right, so that was actually a very, very big relief. Like, I was actually relieved, and even when we had a discussion of giving it of putting a person to onboarding process, I was like, okay, right, this is actually going to work fine. And yeah, actually working fine. And I'm actually happy seeing some people I onboarded doing very, very great. Like, it's actually makes me like some proud mommy. I don't know, but it actually makes me so proud that, wow, right, this actually works for some people. Like, because I know when I actually joined the server, like, I spent 3 months just looking around, looking, and all right, what's going on here? I mean, that was when we sent the Omar server. Then I was like, all right, what's going on? But seeing people doing so well within a month, within 2 weeks, actually nice. And I hope we do better in our onboarding process. And Thanks a lot, Aakansha. Like, everything is, yeah, I'm just happy. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, so if you guys don't mind, just kind of me adding on to that, just from the standpoint of the mentorship team and kind of what the vision is. And the vision is still kind of, we trialed it and it's still kind of open, but what we found from recruits was that when they got done with the onboarding process, they were assigned to a team and they just were sort of kind of out there and didn't really have a lot of direction. And so, what my hope is that not all recruits are going to be required to be in the mentorship team. We might have some people come in that are experienced programmers and maybe they don't need that. But it's going to be offered to folks. And so the hope is that someone gets out of that onboarding process and is able to come into the mentorship team, and that we work on the mentorship team to try to teach them how to be in the DAO. We do projects within the mentorship team to teach people how to do projects, to learn from each other, to learn about the DAO. And then really where I'd like it to go from there, and this is the part that it didn't happen in the trial team really, but where I want it to be, is that we understand what teams those recruits are interested in, and then the mentorship team is partnering with that team to do some team specific mentorship as well, where the mentorship team can handle hopefully the bulk of getting people into the DAO, getting them to used to how they can do projects, how do I be a SuperUMAn, kind of all those things, the mission, vision, values, just all that stuff. And then hopefully the recruit says, well, I'd really like to be part of Team XYZ, where the mentorship team reaches out to that team and says, hey, I got someone really interested. They have this skill. Is there someone that can kind of help them with a little bit of team specific mentorship and kind of get people launched? And so that's the vision that we have from the mentorship side at this point.
Yes, GM, that's awesome, dude. I guess one question I have for you is, where do you see the onboarding process stop and then the mentorship process start?
Well, so I guess honestly, I can throw out something about a conversation that I had with Absolute Unit, because it was a good question. Because when we're looking at the mentorship team, and I know we had a conversation, I mean, there might be a day when it should be its own team, but at this moment, it's going to be under the umbrella of the education team. So we were talking about it, and we were saying, well, where should it be? Should it be under onboarding? Should it be under education? And Absolute Unit kind of really had a very specific vision on where he thought onboarding went, and that it seems to me that onboarding ends and the mentorship team starts, because once they get through the onboarding process, they get their recruits tag, they've been assigned to teams, maybe that's where the mentorship team picks up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that does make sense. I'm kind of curious because I know Absolute has been working on a new document for the onboarding structure, and it's going to start fitting in some of the other team structure within it somehow. So I probably have to catch up with that soon.
Well, I agree with you. I think I need to do the same thing, right? Because I think getting this thing launched means that we need to do that. We need to know just what you asked. Where does onboarding start? Where does it stop? Where does mentorship pick up? And then does, like, I understood too that onboarding was going to start kind of looking at a recruit, saying what are your skills, trying to and know what teams needed and match recruits to those teams. And so that's something I hope that happens, or it looks like what's happening on the onboarding side, but we could pick that up on the mentorship side to collaborate with those teams. But yeah, really, I think at this point we're working hard to sort of delineate all of what you're talking about. Where does one end? Where does one start? And just kind of make sure we're not kind of stepping all over each other, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. That's good to hear. And I definitely, I feel like this is so important for the DAO, because obviously not every person's going to need this. But I feel like to some extent they should at least have some exposure to it, like
once you transition over to the mentorship team, you don't have to, you don't have to do like all these tasks. Like if you want to do your own thing, you can, but at least you have the mentorship team there so that maybe you kind of get stuck, maybe you have a question, and it's literally an inviting environment within the team to be like, this is the perfect place to answer those questions. And, we have a connection with each team to like match you with the right person or whatnot. So yeah, I think this is a great vision. Once we get the whole onboarding and then mentorship thing collaborated and shipped out.
Yeah, and I think we've had really good conversations, and I appreciate the onboarding team and the education team and everybody, because it's really been a nice process and everybody's been very nice and working hard at it. One interesting thing, which is an idea that will be in the strategy document that we're working on for onboarding, is that the question is when you get recruits into the mentorship team, like when I did the trial, I build Moodle courses and I'm on the education team. So I just said, all right, we're just going to do education courses, right? Because it was something I already knew how to do and I was involved in it. But I'm really interested about, can every team have on D work things that they need to get done that they could tag as like recruit only tasks that the mentorship team could take on to help teams that need to get certain things done, and also give mentors exposure to how to do projects and stuff. I think that might be a really good idea. So maybe we look at that too.
Yeah, dude, I think that's exactly the type of stuff we need.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, thank you for all of these comments. Aakansha, did you want to have any closing thoughts?
No, I think thanks to GM Steel for doing such great work on mentorship. I think that was needed. Yeah, and thanks to all the onboarding team for creating such a seamless process for all of us. So that's it from my side, and thanks everyone for joining in and putting your inputs.
Okay, thank you.
And sorry, yeah, I just want to use this opportunity to ask team leads sorry, about what in a little while said about using docs for orientation, like presentation rather, for orientation calls. So I would actually need help from in a little while, team graphics and other and every other team leads me on the money here, because I know there have been some updates on some teams, so we can actually use that, for the sub teams, what they do and how they can actually be one of the team members there, something like that.
Hey, and I apologize, but if I could throw out one more thing, because we got so many people here. One of the things too, we're going to start when we launch the mentorship team having calls. And one of the things I'd also really like to do is have people from the different teams come into the calls that we do for the mentorship team and talk about those teams and kind of give their experiences too. And so I think that would be a big help. So I guess I'm just throwing that out there to give people a heads up that I might be asking you to help with that.
Okay, great. Exciting times ahead, I think. So we're a little bit over, but it's fine because this is an important discussion to have. Any final thoughts from anybody else before we close up?